So here it is, my review of Assassin's Creed Unity. The dreaded Unity. The piece of shit that was released that was so broken people made memes out of it. No head, eyeballs, teeth at all. Well, I figured. It's been about 6 months since the game came out. Well, that's when I played it anyway. Third month of the year, roughly, is when I beat it. But anyway, so I decided, let's see if they've actually gone and fixed any of the problems. The short end of it is they did fix some, but a lot's still broken. So, let's start out with the good stuff. Now, as I said, it's much more stable now than it was on launch. I'm not seeing a lot of game-breaking glitches. Usually the worst I would see is someone living in a wall, so to speak. The game is graphically impressive. The hair, did feel a little out of place, but it was well done. I didn't have any of the ridiculous waviness that some other people had. Along with the hair being much more follicle in nature, the clothes are also much more fabric-like. They don't feel and act as if they're glued to the actor nearly as much as some of the other releases. And the game has gone back more to its sandbox kill style, assassination style, I should say, like the first game, which I think is a fucking great step in the right direction. However, it still feels quite limited. It's nice to have those options, but they just don't feel like there's nearly as much freedom. However, that does not take away from the enjoyment of the actual assassinations. Some of them are really, really fun. Especially the extra missions that aren't really story missions. Those assassinations are really great. Also, the voice acting. The voice acting in this particular game is quite good. I didn't really feel any character didn't have drive behind them. That all the voices fit the characters. I would say perfectly, or at least as perfectly as you can get. Now, unfortunately, now we're getting to the stuff that is the bad. Now, the thing that most people really want to hear about, the multiplayer. Guess what, guys? It's still broken as shit. Now, sure, I can play a lot of them by myself. That will still work. And good thing, because if it didn't, then I'd be stuck with extreme lag-ridden allies who just seemingly go through walls, kill enemies, or maybe just do jack shit. And if you do get a game that's rather stable, yet people don't know what they're doing. Surprise, surprise. Even if you can do some of these by yourself, unfortunately, there are still missions that, even if you can do them by yourself, they're extremely, extremely difficult and just nearly impossible to do by yourself because they expect, 2, 3, 4 people, depending on the mission. There's one in particular that involves, Arno, our lovely assassin protagonist, trying to get into a tournament, if I remember correctly. It was, some kind of game for rich people. At least that's what it looked like anyway. So essentially, you had to go through an obstacle course. You had to go and get all the flags in a certain time limit. I'm like, okay, I'm Ariel. I'm really good at this, moving around and being a fucking acrobat shit. Let's do it. The only problem is, they give you very, very, very little time to do it. And it's just clearly designed to have, like, 2 or more people. I could see maybe 2 people doing it. I tried my damnest. They just only give you, I think it's like 20 seconds, I think, when you start, and then each flag you get, it's a few more seconds. But it takes more time to get to the flag, because I gotta get all of them. And they all, like, appear in pairs and whatnot, so it's just something that can't be done. And that leads to the next problem with the game. They just love having these sets of armor that the only way you can get the full set, especially for the really, really good stuff, is if you complete co-op missions. Yeah, you know, the stuff that's fucking broken. Makes fucking sense, right? Or you have to go and find the chest that's in. Now, the chest bit isn't so bad, it's just annoying, and every Assassin's Creed game has had these collectibles. So at the end of the day, that isn't a huge deal, it's just what they've always fucking done with chests. However, because they decide to give it like an MMO loot-like feel with some of this stuff, because if you do a co-op mission, you aren't necessarily going to get the one you want. There's more than one piece. And of course, they changed that, which I hope they did. Now, you can of course buy most of the weapons and armor, but they did it a little differently. You can just press start and go to gear loadout and buy your weapons from there. And speaking of weapons, they actually add a nice variety. Let's see if I remember correctly. They had like axes, maces, spears, claymores, one-handed swords. Say a decent variety. I do wish that they had the two swords like Edward had as an option. Also, my only real complaint when it comes to the weapons is that you have access to most of them right off the bat. So if I save up my money, I could go and buy one of the best swords in the game, let's say, and then since difficulty scales, I'd just be like one-shotting most of the enemies. Now, the gameplay. That's the thing that's left. Everyone wants on this gameplay good. Is it fun? The short answer is yes. The time I had with it was fun. Now, I do have a few grievances, but I think it might be more my preference than anything else. Now, all the way the game worked is there wouldn't be any insta kills anymore like in the other games. Like, you'd have to wear someone out with a sword or something, then you could finish them off. Or if they fall on the ground, you could finish them off. And unfortunately, that would create problems with some of the assassinations. Because let's say you had the guy you want to kill down the floor, but you have all of his bodyguards on you, and you can't, just stab him. Because Arno, even though you're near him, he put preference over smacking the guard, then quickly finishing the target off and running away. Which is a problem, but I guess if you were a better assassin, you wouldn't be in that situation anyway. I kid. But there's that. That's a little weird, a little different. I mean, you still can insta-kill someone from behind, in hiding around a corner, ledge grab, kill, that kind of stuff. There still are insta-kills. It's just not like counter and stab like in the other games, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on how you view it. Now, they also decide to implement a system so you have more control when you're going off the rooftops. Like, you have to press a button when you're like it basically was descending and ascending. So if you were, let's say you're going on a ledge and you want to descend, you'd press the appropriate button. And if you want to ascend, you press the other button. Which was really nice, so that way you wouldn't just be jumping off ledges and falling in the ground and stuff like that. And it really did prevent a lot of that, which was nice. Now, for those of you who don't want to hear any story spoilers, I suggest you skip ahead. But no, the story itself was good in some regards. The characters themselves, like I said, all felt like they had drive to them. There's no real big complaints there. The only real big complaint was there's one big fight with your mentor. I'm not gonna say anything other than that. And they didn't really have enough build up to it, in my opinion. I didn't really have much feeling for the guy when I was fighting him at all. So, there's that, and the guys might have a different opinion. That's a story opinion thing. And also, the Master Assassins, when Arno would do something good, they would punish him. And sometimes it was justified, and sometimes it just felt like rash or irrational, because their own hate to the Templars or whatever it may be was stronger than their reasoning. But overall, it was a very good story. I enjoyed it. And also, they add in clans to the game. I forgot the exact term they used for it. It might have been Creed. It probably was Creed. But anyway, so you get with a group of your friends or random people. Whatever suits your fucking style, right? And they have daily challenges you can complete to get rewards. I think they have weekly challenges too. And essentially, whoever clan got first would get some really nice loot. It'd be a piece of legendary armor, or a weapon, I think. Actually, I don't remember there ever being a weapon, but there could be. It was always like armor pieces for me. But essentially, legendary armor pieces are the best pieces of armor. And speaking of the armor, one thing I forgot to mention before is that they have it set up in like different playstyles, kind of. Yeah, like there'd be one set of armor that had different sets. Like there'd be like the lower end, then there'd be the higher end, like an MMO, really. But that'd give different bonuses. Like, oh, this one is really stealthy. It makes you quiet, and you can carry a shit ton more of your like poison darts, a bunch of your assassin tools and whatever, stealthy stuff. And there's one that was, they carry a lot more lockpicks, which is useful for when you're going to get all those damn chests. And then there's ones that are made for pure combat, which give you the ability to carry more, like, I think it was smoke bombs and health, and also a bigger armor boost. So, it was nice, and you can mix and match them all you want. You could have, let's say, the heavy armor chest piece and the stealthy pants, and I don't know, the saboteur hood or whatever. You can do any combination you want. Oh, yeah, and the belt. They had a belt as well, which was really nice. I think I actually give them credit for that. It was pretty cool to be able to kind of just make your character the way you wanted, which I applaud them for. And now what everyone's been waiting for, the rating. I have to give it a 5 out of 10. Unfortunately, Even though they've done a lot to fix it since the release date, it's not even enough. The multiplayer is still broken as all hell. Its only saving grace that didn't have it have a score like 3 out of 10 or 4 or even lower than that was the fact that the game actually is playable. Single player is fun when it's working, and it doesn't have nearly as many glitches as launch, but unfortunately, you still have a broken multiplayer experience, which you made one of the core factors of the game. It's heavily advertised. I know they give away DLC, but that still doesn't cut it. The story is the only real thing I play the game for, because I love Assassin's Creed, but I had to be realistic. So, if you really enjoy Assassin's Creed, you want to hear the story, I'd recommend watching a video or reading up on it instead of playing the game, especially since there's still a $60 price point.
If you like what we call videos around here, please like, favorite, subscribe. Anything you can do would be greatly appreciated. And as always, we'll see you in the next video.